Hi everyone. Hope this video finds you well. Um, Today I'm going to answer one question that I guess get asked very often. Many patients they ask me that how do I travel because I travel. I would say I travel not quite a lot, but I travel. And as it happens with most IC patients, they are not able to travel because of their urgency, because of their frequency. So they keep asking me, how do I travel? So today I thought I'll just share a few tips on how to travel. So the thing is, let me tell you something that when I was diagnosed and when my flares were really severe, the only place I could travel to was the washroom, from my bedroom to washroom. That was the only traveling that I did. But thankfully, with after I started taking medicines and I started doing dietary modifications, I started taking the IC diet, and I started physical therapy and also a lot of emotional healing also, because I think I will talk in one of my videos in future about the relationship of emotional stress and IC, but that will need a separate video. So once I started doing all these things, I started getting in and out of remission. And then the remission, the period of my remission increased. Initially it used to be like for few days I used to be in remission, then again a flare used to come back, then it became like little bit longer. So now it's more like flares are, the percentage of flares are less than the remission. So that way you can see that, say that I have healed myself quite a bit. And after that, once my healing journey started, I also started traveling because I love to travel. I love to travel to domestic places, international places, wherever, even anywhere you take me, I love to travel. And staying away from traveling was actually making me very restless and very depressed. So once I started traveling, I think that also gave me a lot of emotional happiness. I became very happy, and that also maybe helped to get into remission. So today let me tell you how I travel. Okay, how I travel. So the first thing is that I usually try not to avoid during the peak season, like say the holidays. In India, it's like Diwali time or the summer vacations or Christmas vacations. These are time I try to avoid, for the reason that what happens is that in India, if I travel in these times, getting access to the bathroom becomes very difficult. You have to stand in long queues actually to get inside the bathroom. So that is a big problem. And then you don't get proper seats, you have to stand everywhere in queues, and that really makes it very difficult for me to manage with my IC. So usually I avoid traveling during the peak season, and I always plan well in advance, because I want to tell you one thing is that with IC you cannot we don't really have the luxury of last minute travel plans. You cannot just pack your bags and go, because we have to take proper preparation. So that is why I always plan in advance. I also try to take into consideration the place I'm traveling. I try to see that how the place is it like I have to really climb a lot, is it going to be physically exhausting, is it going to be relaxed? So those are also few things that I take into consideration. The next thing that I do is the mode of transport. That is very important, the mode of transport. I try to avoid bus travels. What happened last year, not last year, this year only, in May, a few of my cousins had planned a trip, so I joined them, and it was a very short trip, like it was a 5-hour bus journey from our place to that destination. So I joined them, and the bus stopped in some, how the buses stop in India, in some dhaba or some restaurants. So that dhaba, was the bathroom was really very, very dirty, so I didn't want to use it. So I didn't use, and I for 5 hours I had to control my urgency, even though I was feeling like I need to go, but I was controlling. And I also stopped drinking water because I was scared that if I drink water, then I'll have to use the washroom and all that, and all these things. When I did, I stopped taking water. I didn't use the bathroom. I controlled, and when I finally reached that destination, I was in a horrible flare. So this is one reason I always try to avoid bus travels. I also, don't prefer car travels as much. But with car travel, one thing is like, you can still, stop your car wherever you want to stop. And if you see a nice bathroom, like a clean bathroom, not a nice bathroom, clean bathroom, you can go and use that. So car travel is still better. And another thing is like with bus travel, what happens, bus drivers, they often, they don't, they have, they have their scheduled spots where they will stop. They don't want to stop anywhere, so even if you have this urgency or something like that, you cannot really get down and use the washroom. So bus travel, I would not recommend to IC patients. Try to avoid bus travels, even though most buses these days are otherwise very comfortable, but bathroom still remains an issue. So don't use bus. If you have your own car, or if you can hire that, you can do. But again, uh, I still feel it's a little difficult for me. Trains are very good in a way, because anytime you can go and use the bathroom. But again, what happens in Indian trains is that after a while, if you have like a long journey, if it's a short distance travel, train is good. But if it's a long journey, then often what happens is that the bathrooms become very unclean and stinky after a while, so then it becomes difficult to use. So even train travel is something that I don't do these days. So the only option left is flights. And I think in flight with IC, you can actually very comfortably travel in flight. Because airport bathrooms are any day better than railway platform bathrooms or any other bathrooms. They are clean, and so you can use them anytime. And flight also, bathrooms are obviously clean. Secondly, I prefer taking aisle seat, and I actually try to either sit in the front or in the rear end of the aircraft, because those are two places where the bathroom is close by. So whenever I need, I can use the bathroom. So my preferred seats are aisle seat, either in the front or in the rear end. So that way, uh, I always prefer flights. And another thing is like, uh, with that, what I wanted to say is that flights are better. And yes, what I was trying to say is that you can use diapers. These days I know of many patients who use diapers. And these days the diapers have also become better. It's not like previous days. They are good. So if you really want, if you have to travel by bus or car, you can try diapers. Adult diapers are very good. And I think there are also some new uh, things have come up where you can actually pee in a pouch or something like that, but I have never used it personally. So I would say you can always use diapers. And while traveling, carry your water bottle with you. Always try to stay hydrated, because if you are not hydrated, then your urine will become, you will get more burning sensation. So always try to stay hydrated. And if it's a long travel, like say it's an international travel, you have to be there for 18 hours or so, always try to carry a soft pillow or something on which you can sit, because sitting in one place for long hours can be difficult. The second most important thing is about food. um, Try to carry few food items, icy friendly food items with you. Always keep it with you. Say, like, I carry crackers, I carry khakra, I carry some fruits if possible, like pear, apple, icy friendly fruits. And other things like nuts. If you are okay with nuts, you can carry some nuts, cashew nuts, almonds, whatever. So always try to have something in your bag, because what happens in some places, the food is not icy friendly. So there are some destinations where you, even if you try, you cannot get icy friendly food. So in those places it actually becomes very handy if you have, say, khakra with you or something like that with you, homemade theplas. These you can always keep handy for yourself. In India, when I travel, my food usually in the morning I try to have either idli or sada dosa, and I try to have it with coconut chutney. And I usually ask the restaurant to, not give me, the tarka wala coconut chutney. I take the plain simple coconut chutney because there is no chili and nothing in that plain coconut chutney. And idli and plain dosa will not cause you a flare. They are very icy friendly. For afternoon, you can take dal, but then again, it depends. If the dal is very spicy, say a kali dal or a dal makhni, that is something I wouldn't recommend. But if the dal is like very simple dal, you can take the dal, or else curd rice. Curd rice is also a very good option if you cannot eat anything else. But if you can manage food, then eat. Don't be scared. Eat. But I'm saying, like, if you're really in a bad flare, uh, you can also have roti with very simple. You can have with omelets. If you can grilled chicken, or if you're non-vegetarian, you can actually have grilled chicken. If you're vegetarian, you can ask for, grilled vegetables or grilled or barbecue vegetables. These things, but ask them not to put any sauce or any other thing on it. So these are things you can have instead of, tea, coffee. You can always ask for milk if you're not lactose intolerant, or you don't have any kind of dairy related issue. So then you can have it. So food wise, it is, these are few things that I personally do. I always carry my own food. I try to get some, icy friendly fruits. I try to eat, in the morning. Yeah, you can also have bread toast in the morning. That is also that I can eat. So these are few very selected items that I eat. I avoid sugar and all. Always carry your medicine. Say for me, I carry anti-burning, I have one medicine that gives me relief from burning. I also carry baking soda because baking soda for me is very helpful, and I know of many patients who find relief from baking soda. So carry baking soda with you always, or if not baking soda, then citro soda or something like that. Carry your medicines. Always carry your medicines. Carry um, hot bag and a cold, what I do is, whenever I check into the hotel, I just put one ice pack in the freezer. So one ice pack and one, hot bag. These are things I always keep with myself, because if my burning and my pain increases, I just try to use either the hot bag or the cold pack, whichever helps me. Because for me it varies. Sometimes the cold pack helps, sometimes the hot bag helps. So I try to keep them. Another thing that I try to do is, don't make your trip very hectic. We have this tendency, very touristy tendency, that we have to see 10 places in one day. We have to run from here to there to there. Don't do that. Keep your itinerary very relaxed, so that there is enough time to explore one place. And if you don't feel like, avoid. Don't go. There is no problem not going, because I always try to keep my itinerary a bit relaxed, because I know if I go to 10 places in one day, then I will not get enough time to use the bathroom. I will not get enough time to drink water. I will not get enough time to rest. I will become exhausted. And everything will cause a flare. So that is the reason I always try to keep it very relaxed. So yeah, I wake up aram say, I take whatever I have to, I go. And I don't, even like sometimes for me, I think even for others, sometimes the temperature also causes a flare. If it is too hot, you may get a flare. If it is too cold, you may get a flare. So also, while choosing destination, that is one important thing. And even after going to that place, if you see that the temperature is not really helping you, then maybe you just take it easy. Always try to get good sleep. Don't make it like, don't go to bed at 2 in the night and wake up at 4 in the morning. Don't do that. Always try to get good rest, because without sleep, if you're sleep deprived, that will also cause your IC to flare up. So more or less, these are the things that I do personally. And if you have any questions, if you want to know anything more about how to travel, you know how to get in touch with me. You can always email me. I usually try to respond as early as possible, but it may take for sometimes, I miss it and maybe it takes 2 3 days to respond. But I usually try to respond as early as possible. So you can email me, and as always, you can always get in touch with us. You can always send your queries, and even in the comment also, I try to reply to comments. But often what happens, I don't check YouTube comments that often, but email I check. So you can always get in touch with me if you have any questions. So that's it for today, and hope you all have a great end of this year. To 2023 is ending, so I hope you have a good 2024, a very icy free 2024. So till then, take care. Bye bye.